Bitcoin means more to me than just increasing my wealth. It'll do a lot more. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm 5x5 here in the UAE. I'm actually at the Wadi Desert, right, in Ras Al Khaimah. Jesus, can't seem to get that name right. Ras Al Khaimah. But yes, having a lot of good time here at the Financial Summit. The Financial Summit is Tone Vase's event. It is a cool event, and they're going to be having another one in the Maldives for 2025, January 2025. So make sure you head over to the financialsummit.com to sign up. I'm not going to go over the news today. I'm going to talk about why Bitcoin is so important to me. Well, I don't know if you know this, but I studied monetary history ever since 2007. I started in 2007 when I realized that something was off with the market. I realized that that the banking system was having problems, and I was like, what's going on over here? And I started doing my research, and during that research, I found out that our banks create money out of nothing. This was a shocking revelation to me, and I went down a deep rabbit hole after that. And I realized that we've done this many times before in the past, and the results are pretty much the same. We end up wiping out the middle class and the poor. And then generally what happens is we go to despotism, meaning that there is only a few people at the top, and they're ruling over a whole bunch of poor and miserable people at the bottom. This is a complete disaster, of course, because the people who are at the top are generally the people who understood the system, and they're not generally the good people ahead of the time and took advantage of it. This has been really bothersome to me, because I knew that that people shouldn't have to think about what their money is, why it works, and why and how it works. But that's just the way it is, right? If you don't think about how things work, you will be a victim of it. That's the way of life. And that's why, in the religion of Indian religion, is people are forced to have gold in their religion. And that's not because, oh yeah, you've got to have gold because it's a religious symbol that you must own that. No, it's to protect you from not understanding how money works. Right? So, and so, because they've done it to the Indians, to Asian people many, many times, where they wiped them out. And so I use Bitcoin as my savings, my future wealth storage, because that's what money is. You could do it with gold, you could do it with silver as well, but Bitcoin has something unique to it. It has a fixed supply, whilst gold, its supply is a lot larger than we realize. The only difference is that we can't get it. It's really difficult to get the gold out of water. For example, seawater has a lot of gold, but it's extremely difficult to get it out because it's in microscopic particles. The universe is filled with lots of gold, and so it's not a rare metal, but it is currently rare for us to get. So it's good enough for now as a wealth storage system. However, Bitcoin is even better. It's better in many, many different ways. One, it allows us to move our wealth across borders without having to worry about if there's an issues. Two, it allows us to send that wealth to anyone around the world. Three, long-term storage of your wealth, which is your energy, your work energy that you've put in and day out, your sweat, blood, and tears in order to accomplish something, and then convert it to something else. You should convert it to something that's going to either preserve your value or raise it up. And you're like, Bitcoin doesn't raise up your value, it goes down and up. And the end result for Bitcoin, because it's limited in supply, means that it has to go higher. Eventually, somebody has to buy at a higher price. That's just the way it is, because it has a limited supply. And if you don't understand that concept, right, you just didn't go to school to study supply and demand. Right? So, unlike gold has always increasing supply. Bitcoin has an ever decreasing supply that comes in. So this makes Bitcoin superior as money and to save your wealth for the long term. Again, long term. All right, with that said, let's get on to technical analysis for today. All right, so looking at Bitcoin, I was supposed to be at the trading competition last night. I wish I was, because man, look at that, boom. If you get this thing, as soon as it broke here, you had the opportunity to really take a high leverage move up, because it was just pumped. You can see the W on the hourly here, right here, boom, boom, right? And that was a clear signal, ooh, up to the moon. And yeah, we pumped heavily with Bitcoin. And you can see that Bitcoin is above and closed a 4-hour candle. Let's just make sure. We've closed a 4-hour candle, quite a few 4-hour candles above the resistance line. This is a good sign, of course, not for sure, because you can see that Bitcoin it psychs you out, but it's a positive sign because we keep hitting resistance and breaking through. So that's always a good sign. Also, looking at the longer picture, you can see we're creating higher lows all the way up. So Bitcoin is moving on an upward slope higher. So that could indicate an explosive move higher. Besides, looking at the longer term picture, you see that on a daily, things are in a bullish situation as well, as Bitcoin is moving higher. Finally, let's close off with Ethereum. Ethereum has stayed quite some time above its support, previously resistance, now support, for quite some time without any kind of movement. But with the 4-hour closing, the Bollinger Band closing, and that means that we're about to take off in one direction or another as the Bollinger Band squeeze. That might pertain that Ethereum is about to take off. It might even blow past the $2,000 mark and continue higher. So make sure you have your positions. If you buy here, consider that you could get liquidated if we see some sort of scam wick down and most likely breaking the 1740 and then taking off. I wouldn't be surprised. Generally, they don't do that on Ethereum. So the worst scam wick they'll do is probably break you if you have any stop losses at the 1778-ish area as the worst case scenario. So this is why you should have your stop losses probably at the 200 period moving average for the 4-hour, because it's unlikely to come back down there. Okay. I hope you learned something. I hope you gained something from today's episode. If you did, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, the bell button and all. If you're interested in trading it, make sure you trade it at bybit.davinci15.com or okx.davinci15.com. Links are in the description below, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.